Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome, my fellow Virgos. This is going to be for this reading is going to be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided. Thank you for paying attention to your intuition. You could certainly be in love with a Virgo. I am, um, and it's not me. I mean, I do love myself, but um, but it can be platonic or romantic, whatever it may be. Um, Bottom line is, though, whatever brought you here, I just want to say welcome. I read through my spirit guides, so many times, often I get comments of people like who felt guided to a reading. So I'm glad that more and more people are trusting that, your spiritual team was assigned to you before you even step foot into this lifetime. So they know. They know your soul's intention and they certainly want to help you reach that. So, Virgo, real quick, I just want to talk about a new membership program I started. I used to have an old membership program, and then my channel got hacked and it just uh, destroyed it. But I did get it back. So I've been doing that series Beyond the Veil psychic readings, where I'm just like picking up on people's energy and doing readings. I'm not really using cards. Um, and I was gonna take it off of YouTube and keep it where I made it, which is Buzzsprout. That's where my podcasts are at. But I asked you all if before I did that, I thought, well, let's see if you guys have any questions. Well, I got a lot of questions. I mean, I got hundreds of questions. So that made me rethink it. And I thought, you know what? Let's keep it here and on Buzzsprout. But let's put it under a membership program. So this membership program, I have two memberships. One is just a simple thank you. And then I do send, special little info your way. But the second one is to go live. Um, I'm shooting, I would love to go live every week, once a week at least. I'm saying at least, let's say once a week. But I can't guarantee once a week, but I am certainly going to try. So, we will be live at least a couple times a month. And that's where you can really ask me any questions you want. The reason I decided to do it in a membership is because it's a smaller circle, and we really, I mean, I loved the membership program I had before. I just loved the people. I miss them so much. I know some of you are here, so I really do miss that spiritual closeness that we had. So that's why I started this membership program. So we'll be going live again, but it will be for members only. Um, I will still go live, like just on YouTube for everyone here and there. But yeah, I just thought this is the perfect time and because there seemed to be so much interest, I thought I don't want to take it off YouTube if you guys really are that interested. So I didn't. Okay, now back to you. So as I was pre-shuffling your cards, like I always do, I just calm my mind, kind of get into a meditative state, allow spirit to give me any downloads. Also, I think about the astrology. So let me tell you a few things I got for you before we move into the cards. Number one is I was really feeling like this inner calmness after a period of time of maybe not having that calmness. It reminds me of like the Nine of Cups. We'll see if we get it. Because that is inner harmony. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with you. I also feel like there's going to be destined encounters. I feel like it's going to be very possible that you're going to, destiny's going to play a role in your life, and I'm not just saying love, it can be in many different ways. I also feel like this is a month where you want to learn to say no. And one of the main reasons is because I feel like this time period is about you concentrating on, what you're doing in the world. So, you know, if you're feeling overwhelmed, then get comfortable with saying no. People will be all right. I also feel others are really going to take notice of you this month. And I feel like in love and I feel like in money, this is a great time to, you know, if you don't get a promotion, to ask for a promotion. I definitely feel like you're going to really start seeing the fruits of your labor. I'm hoping that also as a Virgo. Um, but I do feel that. Like, I feel like the tides are changing. The tides are changing. This is a month where common sense and creative flair gives you a real likeliness of success. Common sense and your creative flair. Put them together, I feel like you're unstoppable. And last but not least, Venus in retrograde. I think it's till April 12th. Don't that's what I think. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, that means fate is going to play an important role in your love and relationships. Um, I have a feeling that some of you are going to meet your soulmate in April, and I do feel like there is going to be a long-term commitment that follows. I'm not going to say in April because April may be the time to like just have fun, like get to know each other. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up. But that's what I was feeling. I even had to write it down. Okay. So, Virgo, we're going to use a few different decks. Mother Mary for her beautiful words of wisdom. That's what we'll start with. The Gilded Tarot to clarify and go deeper. Virgo, we are the psychic detective. So, you know, going deep is just one of our traits. I am going to use the psychic tarot for your main spread. It's interesting because this month I feel like the decks that I'm using are not the normal decks that I use. And not that I don't change up your decks, but I don't know. I usually don't use the psychic tarot for Virgo, but it's what was called for. Brought the romance angels for love. And I also have the clarifying, well, it's in reverse, but it's not really reverse. There's a message on either side, whichever direction it comes out. But it's called the clarifying love situation. So they are pre-shuffled and ready to go if we need them. So and then the major arcanas. Major arcanas. You tell me, but I feel like they bring so much value to the reading. But I really would love to hear your feedback on that. Is it just me? Um, or do you feel that also? You don't have to answer, but okay. So I am going to officially open up the tarot portion. So, Mother Mary, for my beautiful Virgos, those intuitively guided. I was going to say, if you're here because you're in love with the Virgo, good luck. I don't know why I always say that. We're a hard sign to love. Um, but it's not that I say we're a hard sign to love, but I feel like it's more, it takes a while for us to really like open up. I know I do talk about my personal experiences in tarot, but I feel like it's because like my guides are asking me to. But beyond tarot, very seldom do I go deep into my life with anyone. All right. Anyway, let's begin. Holy cow. All right, so we're going to take what's face up. We're going to take them. Oh, oh, oh. Wow. Okay, I'm taking them, especially because they're face up. We start with health. It's interesting because I do feel like in April you want to keep an eye on your health. And I feel like the more you can be an optimistic energy, I feel like that's going to help a lot. So, health, my prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Some of you may be like, well, no, they haven't been answered. Well, it feels like they're about to be answered, but they're being answered in, divine's way. So, health, here in the northern atmosphere, or why can't I speak? The northern hemisphere, we actually just moved into spring. But I do know some of you are just moved into winter. But anyways, I feel like for those who just moved into spring, like getting outside, putting your bare feet on the grass, on the ground, plant some flowers. Like I see you being outside and feeling very good. Okay. We have, well, hello, marriage. I make a commitment to a healthy relationship with God, myself, and my partner. Love. Love is the answer to all of my questions. I like this for existing relationships. Maybe those who've been suffering a little bit within a relationship. I feel like it's an opportunity if we're willing to make, and it's interesting because it says, I make a commitment to a healthy relationship. And right before that is health. I don't know. Just feels like it's tying it together. So love is the answer to all of my questions. Truth. I feel like this is so important. Like, if we're not truthful with ourselves, if, we can't buy other people's bullshit. We can't even buy our own bullshit. Like being really honest with oneself. Um, in all areas of your life, I am lovingly honest with myself and others. And last, certainly not least, and it's interesting because my prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered, and then you have Jesus. And Jesus, I pray for Jesus's help and guidance with this situation. Well, it's definitely being heard. Love is right in the middle. Marriage and truth on the other side of love, on each side of love. So I feel like there's a lot of healing going on. Um, but I feel like it's starting with you. Okay, let's bring these up. And there's just too many. I mean, I can put them here, but like, if I do, I want you to be able to see them. It's like, is this worth the effort? I don't know. Health, marriage, love, truth, Jesus. All right. We'll see if they stay. I'm going to put these right there. And let's go ahead and bring in the major arcanas. So if you're new, major arcanas, they give us a glimpse. This is the way I look at it. They give us a glimpse of, what we're about to unveil. But I feel like it gives us a higher understanding also. So we'll see. I don't really read, um, like let's say the sun comes out, that's Leo's ruler. I don't always read it as like, okay, this is a Leo. It has to be a Leo. I really read it as energy. So, with that being said, let's begin. Oh, by the way, um, Sam's birthday is August 23rd. He's right in the cusp of Leo and Virgo. My birthday is September 13th. Trying to think, do I know any other Virgos? Personally, my nephew is right on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. He's the other end of the month, but he's a Libra, but he definitely carries Virgo traits. Look at this, the wheel, your destiny. Someone's spinning that wheel. It's interesting. She's got a blindfold on. Reminds me of Blind Faith, which reminds me of Bob Seger. You know, it's interesting because a song by Bob Seger was Sam and I's song when we were teenagers. And when he reached back out 40 years after the fact, um, when my phone rang, I said hello. He started to sing the song from Bob Seger. And I knew immediately. Funny how he never even forgot the song. Okay. Anyways, by the way, when I talk about my personal experiences, it's because I feel like some of you are going through similar experiences. I don't talk about them just to talk about them. All right. The High Priestess, your intuition. I love that next to the wheel, your destiny, trusting within your intuition. The Tower, some type of disruption. And then we have the Moon. Um, we literally just had the full moon in the sign of Virgo with a total lunar eclipse. So, also card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. It's feminine energy. You know, I feel like some may be leery of spinning that wheel because they don't want to like spin that wheel and then end up in energy that's gonna like potentially cause a tower. But I feel like that's why the High Priestess is there first. Your intuition. Your intuition's gonna lead you. So wherever that wheel stops, you'll instinctively, intuitively know, is this where I get off? Is this my stop? The moon would represent or maybe ask you to be comfortable with not knowing everything, right? Because we want to remember that we're creating truly our life as we go along. It's our book. We are the writer, the author. So, you know, what do I want my book to look like? The moon can also be dreamy energy. Somebody might have had enough of someone's, let's just say, bullshit, and that may be why you're spinning the wheel. You know, I feel like the tower's already happened, but for some reason, I'm not feeling like angst, like I was given the tower. I just feel like, you know, someone is saying enough is enough, and then like, they're going with blind faith, but they're letting their intuition lead the way, which is perfect, by the way. All right, let's bring in the psychic tarot and see where this wheel is taking you. You know, the moon can represent very dreamy type energy. So it could feel like a dream. Like, don't wake me. Am I dreaming? All right. It's interesting. I usually say in the beginning of a reading, like, feel comfortable asking your spirit guides to give you signs of confirmation through a reading. It can be through words, colors, letters, whatever you want. Um, and I just got the like Wham, the group Wham just came to my mind for no reason. Wham. So I feel like someone was thinking about that for some reason. Maybe that was there was a special song from them. Who's that? George Michael? All right. Beautiful Empress. The waiting game. Well, that's not the Empress's energy. Though she is very patient, but I don't see her waiting around for anything. Unless, it's something she knows is going to be beneficial. The Empress trusts her intuition without doubt. This can also represent single mom. Maybe that's what the tower was for some, even though we have marriage. Let's keep going. Temperance. Here it's called patience. And that really is temperance's first message. Patience, my child. I feel temperance, it's not showing here, but normally you see temperance mixing the loving waters of two cups, which to me represents a soulmate. Doesn't have to be love, but it's a soulmate. This is about also divine timing. That's what the patience is about, like allowing something to come to full fruition. It's like divine knows the perfect time. Well, we got conflict and defeat, but in reverse. I'll take it. I'll take it. I think I want to do 5 across. So I want to slide these over. So anyways, conflict and defeat, challenges, things that are difficult to overcome. It feels to me, but this is mirroring the Empress. And it is a 5, so it is about a change. I have a feeling like if something's been giving me, negative type energy, I have a feeling you're done with it because this is in reverse. So you're making that change. And I feel like the change is relating back to the tower, but also the Empress. The Empress. That's why I felt like there's no way the Empress could play that waiting game. Um, unless it was meant to be, because temperance is also there, right? Asking for patience. But I never feel the Empress as someone who, is anxious or she just knows the perfect time to bring something to the table. Um, it definitely looks like her heart chakra is being activated. And when I think of the Empress, I think of someone who's very creative, um, very spiritually knowledgeable, has gone through it, has gone through a lot of experiences, but has overcome them and really extracted the wisdom of those experiences, not the pain, not the anger. She's letting it go. That's why this conflict and defeat, this 5, is in reverse. And I kind of love it coming next to temperance, whose first message, of course, is patience, but then trusting in divine timing. she's coming under that tower. So in a way, I feel like that tower was probably meant to happen or probably serves you in a good way. This is anything relating to love, and someone's got you like on the hook, waiting to state like how they feel or what have you. I feel like no more. Like, I just feel like you're saying no more. Maybe that's where that no comes in, getting comfortable saying no. Even the Empress, a three, with the waiting game, a two, is a five. So I feel like the waiting game, that's over. Conflict and defeat seems to be ending. But I feel like it's because of you and divine, you know, walking hand in hand just the way it's meant to be. I have to say with Temperance, which is a card of Sagittarius, by the way, but Temperance coming under the tower, um, it feels like without the tower, maybe what wants to open up. Remember, again, we start with destiny and your intuition. Maybe, it wouldn't have been the right time. Look at this, Virgo. First of all, this is a card of Virgo. But wow. Some of you, I do feel like you are single. Maybe you're newly single, but I don't feel like it's bothering you. And one of the reasons why is the Nine of Pentacles to me is a very independent energy. This is you reaping the benefits of your hard work. It's perfect energy mirroring the Empress because the Empress is really the most creative one in the tarot. Um, and she does trust her intuition to know the perfect time to bring something to the table. So this is you seeing the fruits of your labor. You know what I love about the Nine of Pentacles is the person who benefits from this energy is you. And it literally says material harvest. But it's coming from your creative mind. And I feel like this conflict and defeat, I'm sure it made it harder um, to do what it is you wanted to do. So it kind of feels like, in a way, some of you, I feel like you must be doing something on a spiritual level because it feels very meant to be. And what else I love about the Nine of Pentacles is it's really a statement to the world that I can take care of myself. I can take care of my family if I'm a single mom or a single dad. Maybe I just became single. But Temperance has something in mind. You know, um, it's like the conflict is leaving. It's like the challenges are no more. It's like an open channel, really, for you to channel and then to trust, like, what you're receiving. And what I mean by that is I would not be surprised if your spirit guides pique your interest in something, um, or they already have, and you followed that. That's exactly how I got into tarot. It just piqued my interest after something amazing happened. Like, I literally saw two spirit guides come into my brother's room. Um, he was on life support, and I literally saw them come into the room in slow motion, and I saw his soul rise to meet them, and then boom, they were gone. So it was slow, and then when his soul ride, gone, just like that. I even went out and told the nurse, I said, my brother's gone. Okay, so why am I talking about that? We have beautiful recognition and reward. 33, by the way. Some of you could have a life path number 33, which is a master number. That is the energy of pure love, by the way, and the ability to give it. This is exactly what I felt before we even started your reading. Other people appreciating you for what it is you do. Again, you are, if you're not seeing the fruits of your labor, then I feel like you're about to. This is also about your individuality and being proud of who you are. Even proud of what you've overcome. That's what the Empress's energy is. She's gone through it. She's gone through hell and back, but what she's learned is I'm not going, if you remember that we are the creator of our lives, so to speak, we're writing the book, then the Empress would certainly clear old energy and just extract the wisdom. Anyways, we have the Ace of Swords, where there's your truth. Here it's called triumphant success. This is also what I use as my yes card. And it's mirroring the wheel. Could be some type of communication that's coming your way. But it would be of a positive nature. Again, triumphant success. It feels like a level up, like you're evolving a level up. That feels good. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Virgo. Prosperity begins. This is the Ace of Pentacles. You can see these two hands. And, in this image, I don't feel like they're the same person. I feel like they're two different hands, but they're both nurturing this, what I call a seed. I feel like the Ace of Pentacles, to me, the Ace of Pentacles means something is coming into your physical world. It could certainly start as a seed, and your nurturing of that seed is going to determine how many blossoms it has, so to speak. This feels like, well, let's just say your money house is getting better and better and better. But again, I want to remind you, it does mean that something's coming into your physical world. Look at this, 2 aces back to back, 11. Make a wish. Mm-hmm. All right. We have the Chariot. Look what it's called here. Triumph. 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 You have that twice. Now, the Chariot's coming over the reversal of conflict and defeat. Because if it feels like you're jumping in your car and you're moving. It's like, I'm splitting. I'm done. I'm out of here. The chariot really requires your balance to really move. But it's really your seeds or your soul's intentions. It's your intentions that tell the chariot where to go. I feel like the chariot comes in when you feel balanced. Well, everything is feeling balanced now because this conflict and defeat, goodbye. Material harvest, hello. And then the Ace of Pentacles, it's like, all right, we already have the Nine of Pentacles. So what is this other ace bringing in? And where are you going with that ace? The chariot represents unlimited potential. Okay. We have the Six of Cups. Some of you might be moving back home, moving back to a place where you have very happy memories of, and represents someone from an earlier time, because look what comes with it. Another ace. Now the Ace of Cups. But look what it says. Love begins. Not only does it look like your money is kind of on fire, as long as you put that focus on it, and I feel the creativity within it. So I feel like there's a love for what you do. Doesn't mean it's not hard work, but there's still like it feels like it's you that was meant to do what you're doing. And even in the Nine of Pentacles, this person's still open, right? Their hands are in the open position to receive. So maybe some of you are just doing just fine in money, but maybe love, I have a feeling, is a little bit of what that tower was. It's like goodbye to someone. But I know why. Again, if someone has you like waiting and wondering, it's a terrible energy. Like Virgo, I know that we as Virgos, we're not very patient when it comes to waiting for someone. You know what I mean? Like, you either love me or you don't. That's the way I look at it. If you don't love me, okay, let me move on. If you do love me, then make it clear. But, I feel like that's what was. Because this is something new. And it's interesting it's coming over the Six of Cups. I don't like talking about past life or past loves all the time, though that is my story. Um, but it can be someone you know. In the Six of Cups, that means someone that you would definitely have, I feel treasured memories of. When I think of them, it brings a smile to my face. So it feels like your money is just being amplified, but it's because of you. This isn't magic. It's like Virgo just deserves this. You're being recognized, you're being rewarded, and then these aces start coming in. Temperance, patience, my child. Well, I want it now. I want it now. And it's like Temperance is saying, but you have no clue what's coming your way. And all these aces show up. And even the unlimited potential. Was someone holding you back from your full potential? Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Look at that. Does my deck in reverse? No. Look at that, the tower. But it's in reverse. Interesting, because I'm telling you, when I do a reading, or right before I do a reading, the first thing I do is go through my decks. And very seldom do I find a reversal, because when I pick up my cards, if they're in reverse, I flip them around. This was not flipped around, I'm telling you, but now it is. I mean, goodbye Towers energy. Yes, it does mean you dealt with it. Movement, choices, and decisions. I wouldn't be surprised if, I won't say everyone, but I wouldn't be surprised if your spiritual team shook some things up in your life. Maybe made things uncomfortable to the point where you wanted change. Because it really has to start with you. But your spiritual team, they can't come between you and your free will, but they can certainly make, like, let's say they've been sending you signs, but you just weren't picking them up. Well, they'll make them bigger. And if it's a red flag, trust me, they will make them big to the point where sooner or later I can't avoid it. Well, I feel like not only, okay, say you had this disruption, you had this tower, but now we know it's not affecting you any longer, or at least, it's making me also think of like Mercury in retrograde, but that's only till like the first week in April, and then it goes direct. Um, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking of what I read about Venus in retrograde. Well, Venus in retrograde can certainly bring back old love, but not just any love. Well, I shouldn't have said that because it can bring back love that we already know. We've been there, done that. All the success that it's saying down here. I mean, triumphant success, rewards and recognition, prosperity begins. Triumph, that's the chariot, unlimited potential, memories of love, and then love begins. Wow. And up here, with Temperance right in the middle, who literally is bringing in this Ace of Pentacles for you, it makes sense that the Empress mirroring the Nine of Pentacles would be first. Because I feel like when you know that you can take care of you, I feel like you're more open in love. You're more open to love. But the Empress also, she's a great reader of energy. And that's why she trusts her intuition, just as we all should. Our intuition is also a gift. It's our GPS for this lifetime. Why is my screen so dark? I don't know. Anyway, holy cow. Goodbye conflict. Goodbye waiting. Hello material harvest. Hello success. I'll take the rewards. Some of you, I literally feel like you're jumping in your car and you're leaving. Nine of Pentacles, it speaks about successful self-employment. So if you have a business, use your creativity. Your creativity might just be like illuminated. We'll see if the sun comes out, but I already feel that. Um, Again, it could be like your interest is piqued. You follow it, and it's like, I can't get enough. I want to learn more and more. That's how my journey began. It's like I just wanted to learn, learn, learn. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. Did I look under the tower? Yeah. Movement, choices, and decisions, which is a two. So the other two was the waiting game. So I do feel like that does apply. Again, that chariot definitely feels like movement. But remember, that movement is through your intentions. Keep them positive, optimistic, and you'll soar. All right. We're going to start at the beginning, but we're going to read it as a whole. I hope my screen lightens up. Either that or it's just me. All right. Page of Wands. Page of Wands, my little risk taker. Um, to me, the page of, I feel like each page is learning something, and eventually I become the queen or the king. It can also talk about, though, what's in the atmosphere, and that would represent passion, like passion ignited. Yet I feel like this is about taking chances. You know, something the Page of Wands, first of all, the Page of Wands doesn't live in a fear based state. Doesn't mean fear is never, never raises its ugly head. But this is someone who's willing to take chances. This is someone who would say, yeah, you know, I did take a lot of chances in life and they didn't all pay off, but each one of them taught me something. So this is someone who gets back up again. Like, and it makes sense coming over the Empress, right? It's very little will hold her down, if anything. I can't help but feel that some of you have become single. And again, you could be a single parent. And this may be part of why this independent nature, which, as a Virgo, we already carry. But I do feel like it's important that you feel that you can take care of you, right? You can create your own harvest. But divine's also helping you. And I feel like how is divine helping you? Through epiphanies, ideas, but also this Ace of Pentacles. So this Ace of Pentacles is truly meant to enhance your life. Okay, let's keep going. I keep feeling like I hear a card coming out. Oh, it's my bracelet in the table. Okay, so we're going to take them as they came out. And hello, Knight of Pentacles. So this is definitely guardian angel energy helping to guide you. It's interesting because you have a couple energies that do speak about patience, and the Knight of Pentacles is also one of them. Knight of Pentacles tells you that, first of all, what this knight brings in, it's already showing, but it's before this. So before we even receive it, it's coming over this waiting game. So the Knight of Pentacles tells you, I come at the right time. And that means a time when I know you're going to use this seed and I know you're going to nurture it and I know you're going to grow it. And I don't feel like it's a one time thing. I feel like as I receive these epiphanies, these ideas, these aces, and I put them into good use, the universe notices that and sends me more. So I feel like the blessings, I'm saying blessings, but well earned blessings, I feel like just continue. I feel like the waiting game was why it wasn't the right time for this Knight of Pentacles. But because I now see the Tower in reverse, and I feel like you're no longer in this waiting game, now it feels like the right time. I feel like that's what the Knight of Pentacles is saying. Now, this is the right time. And how do I love this also connected to your destiny, your will? Okay. Let's take what's face up first. Well, hello, Temperance over Temperance. Double Sagittarius on the board. Interesting. Could be a few things coming into divine timing. Kind of feel like we already know, right? Because it's showing one of them is meant for your material world, but one is also love. Okay, well, hello, another ace. So now you have all the aces out. Ace of Wands over conflict and defeat, but in reversed. Perfect. It's like go time. This is action oriented. This is like the epiphanies and then putting them into action. You got the ball now, put it to use. And so you do. And so you do. So to me, first of all, the Two of Wands mirroring the Page of Wands. So you're allowing some type of a new beginning. That means that this path is opening up. And the path of the wands, well, you have so much fire in the table. So it's like, here's the idea, or here's the sign, and then here's the movement, or here's the willingness to step upon this path. This path is full of passion, your desires, but I have a feeling also love. So let's keep going. We have the Death card over recognition and reward, card of Virgo. Oh, not Virgo, Scorpio. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles over triumphant success. Death card talks about transformation. Interesting right now, it's mirroring the Ace of Cups. But I feel like that transformation was the Tower because it is about closing doors, but the promise of a new door opening, and it will always open. But sometimes that door needs to be closed and locked and throw away the key because there's no reason to revisit that. That's what I'm feeling like. I don't need to revisit this tower. You probably already understand it. It does feel like something that came between you and the potential of this success. But I just don't feel, that you would put up with that for long. Then we move into the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles, first of all, it's an eight. Eights do represent new beginnings. The Eight of Pentacles is the willingness to go into something as the apprentice, knowing that you will learn as you go and you will grow as you go. This could be, with this spiritual energy we have on the board and material success. This could be another avenue you're adding in. Whatever you're doing in the Eight of Pentacles, it's paying off. And it's like the Knight is giving you the way to be able to create whatever it is you want to create. You have a nice mix of energy on the board. We have the Four of Swords, though it did show in reverse. So healing can mean rest and rejuvenation also. Some of you might just need to take a time out. It is in reverse though. So some of you could certainly still be going through a healing process. Or because it's in reverse, maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. Maybe you have healed. I feel like in the Four of Swords, there's three swords that I feel like, are piercing the heart. But there's one sword that we lie upon, and that's our own truth. And I feel like it's important that we know our own truth. Even Mother Mary brought out truth. So I'm not going to look at that as a negative thing. I actually think it's positive. And by the way, I feel like some of you, I automatically feel like you're natural healers, but that doesn't mean you have to do that for a living. But I do feel like some of you are, and success is the name of the game here. I also feel like you're opening your heart. Again, we have to think of the Empress, right? The first tarot card and what her energy represents. And she is someone who has learned not to shut her heart down. That means that there was a time that she did. But she's constantly learning and growing. And it's you. And you're getting closer and closer to love. Or love begins. Okay, well, I'm going to take this. It was the first one out. Hello, world. Hello, new chapter. Beautiful. Literally, you are no longer allowing yourself to be connected to other people's conflicts. It's like someone was throwing challenges in front of you in a way to stop you from being all that you could be. Well, I feel like it worked for a time period, but it's not working any longer. It's literally like you have found yourself again and you're trusting. I feel like in your abilities, definitely your spirituality, because to me, the world energy is the most spiritual. And I feel like, that never ends. But this is, I feel like, where I'm walking hand in hand with my spiritual team. I know that they're sending me signs. Ace of Wands right above that. And the chariot below that. Like, be excited for this new chapter. We have the Queen of Swords. Can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And then look at this, the Magician, the Manifester, right over the Ace of Cups. Are you manifesting love? Is your spiritual team manifesting love for you? Is someone else also manifesting, like in the energy of manifesting love? The Magician has the infinity symbol. No beginning, no end. As above, so below. Right over love begins. So the death card, it's important. It is closing out old chapters. And let's not forget, we are in the year of the Hermit. And it really is about, what you want to bring along for the next leg of this journey and what you don't want to bring along. I feel like you're becoming clearer and clearer. There could be someone that you wished could come along, but yet their energy and your energy just don't feel like they're mixing anymore. And I know why. Because I feel like your vibration is just becoming higher and higher and higher, and lower vibration and higher vibration just don't mix. You know, you can certainly make a decision of lowering your vibration. And I feel like that's what I'd have to do if there was any interest in whatever happened with that tower. Like, I would have to lower my vibration. I don't feel like you're willing to do that. I know you're not willing to do that. And I feel like the Queen of Swords down here, which can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, I feel like this is someone speaking their truth. I feel like you want this next chapter to open. And so it is. All right, let's go below also. I also feel as it relates to your money and your creativity, you know, let's say that you tried a certain thing, but it didn't produce the results that you'd hoped. Well, it can talk about, okay, well, there's other avenues. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're going to be directed to where your energy can best be used really by the universe. Judgment, your spiritual team, and they're calling you to the present moment. It's interesting because the death card speaks to transformation, rebirth, same thing judgment speaks of. But judgment's message is we're trying to send you signs. And these signs, they're in your present moment. Don't look in the past for them. Don't look in the future. They're right here, right now. All these aces, it makes complete sense. It's like your spiritual team is trying to really get a hold of you. So, rebirth, rebirth, present moment. I feel like some of you have a particular guide who I feel is very involved in your life right now. And I feel like I'm talking about one particular guide. I mean, you have a team, but there seems to be one that's stepping forward more. It kind of like I got this one. I got this one. So I'm not sure if they're talking about love, money, or just your life. But I feel like there's someone special who is stepping forward to, well, probably to help you come across these aces. Hello, Ten of Cups, happy home, house of harmony, laughter, joy, can be blended families. But if it is blended families, there's not an issue with that. Like, I'll love your children, and I know you'll love my children. Again, the Empress opening up the reading can certainly speak about a single mom or a single dad. But remember, the Empress talks about keeping your heart open. Look where it's leading you. And judgment telling you, I need you in the present moment. There's a lot of energy that's calling you to the present moment because there of these rebirths. Now, I feel like it's not just your money, it's also your love. And I also love the Nine of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles with the Ten of Cups because I feel like if anyone's working from home, it just feels like you love what you do. Doesn't mean again it's not hard work, but I love what I do. And some of you, I feel like this is a new adventure that you're on. Okay, let's keep going. I shall take that and accept that for you. We have the Hierophant, Heart of Taurus, number 5. So anytime you see a 5, you want to just stop for a second and just ask, okay, what is this 5 asking of or from me? Because it is 5s are about change. So with the Hierophant, I feel like It's like your belief system, your faith, keeping faith alive, keeping hope alive, knowing that those prayers, they are being heard and they are being answered. You know, this is light energy, and it even feels like healing on a spiritual level. Hmm. Well, I just kind of flew out. Two swords. Interesting. Two swords mirroring the moon. So two swords, which it almost doesn't fit, but I have to say, I feel like the two swords is natural. It's like a natural fear of something new because it is coming over the world, mirrored by that Ace of Wands. So that Ace of Wands is something that's going to, again, at least pique your interest. If not, like, it looks like it's literally opening up a path. So I could see fear raising its ugly head for a moment. I don't feel too worried about it, especially with the Hierophant right next to it. And I feel like in this energy, with what's on the table so far, where you have uncertainty, go back to your guides. Like, did I pick up on this sign right? They'll send you another sign. Ten of Swords. So you don't want to repeat something. I get it, right? Like, there must have been a period of time where it felt like all the swords were being put in your back. You know, it's interesting. I get this feeling like the more I try to help, the more I got screwed. The more I tried to give wise advice, the less it was listened to. So I get this feeling like you tried to help, but that help wasn't being received in the way that it could have been received. Because I feel like you could have really helped someone, but I feel like they just had no interest. I'm not saying they had no interest in you, but what I'm saying is they had no interest in evolving. And I get that you don't want to repeat that, but that's really what you want to take notice of. Like, have I been in repeat patterns? Why? What made me stay? Sometimes, yes, we can say love, but to me, love just wasn't enough in this energy. Could also represent Mercury being in retrograde. And then we had the Queen of Wands, Queen of Action. And I feel like this is representing you moving on. But that's where the Two of Swords, that's what it's stemming from. It's stemming from the past. It's stemming from what already has happened. You know, the hardships that you've been through, the people or person who just dagger after dagger after dagger in your back, no matter how you try to help. It just doesn't seem that, well, I just get this feeling like someone didn't want your help. So be it. So be it. So I feel like, okay, well, I'm off to the next adventure. And that's kind of what it feels like. This feels like adventure. But boy, is your spiritual team behind you, guiding you. You know, they want you to reach this success. They want you to have real love. You know, this ace where it says love begins, I have a feeling it's the soulmate that I was feeling in the beginning of the reading. We already have the Ten of Cups. And, you know, in the Ten of Cups, I don't feel you're alone. In the Nine of Pentacles, I do. So I feel like I may be single here. But I don't feel like that will, well, it's going to depend, you know, because I feel like the death card, it's important, right? Closing old doors, keeping them open won't serve me. It'll just add more confusion to the mix. And that's not how the Empress would want to live anyway. So to me, the Empress is you, like reclaiming your power in quite a few different ways. It's like you know who you are now. Some of you have been doing so much to raise your vibration that I feel like no way in hell should you lower your vibration to be, maybe back with someone or even just accept anything of a lower vibration. Doesn't even have to be in love. It just be, remember I said in the beginning also, like getting comfortable saying no? Well, the Ten of Swords can certainly be someone who had their hand out over and over and over again. So I have to learn to say no to that. But I feel like you did, and I feel like that's why the Queen of Wands then shows up. Because she is our queen of action. She is our queen that follows her desires, her passions. I feel like the Queen of Swords is you speaking that final piece. A lot of times you'll see the Queen of Swords holding like a microphone. It's like she does this mic drop, like, oh, that's it. I got nothing left to say. So I feel like this is saying keep your faith alive. Trust that, what feels like miracles, but they're really not miracles. They're because of you. They're because of you no longer allowing these towers to stop you from a beautiful future, right? You know that that power lies within you. Hmm. Okay. I feel like that went really fast. Of course, it's probably already an hour in. To me, it seems like it went fast. I think I'm going to look at a couple things. I'm going to come right down where we have the wheel, your destiny. You're about to spin it. We have the Knight of Pentacles, guardian angel, but I really feel like it's one particular guide who is stepping forward to help you with something. You have the Eight of Pentacles below that. So anything new you're beginning, as long as you're willing to focus on it, and that's in all areas of your life. Yes, your money, but also love. Like it takes focus, and we can focus on more than one thing. But I have to say, I just realized we have the Eight of Pentacles that is connected to the Ten of Cups. Well, I love that for working from home. And then we have the Ace of Swords underneath that triumphant success. It's like, so now I'm thinking, do I really need to go back and look at it? But let's go ahead and do it. Let's just see. We have the Emperor. The Emperor just flipped itself around in the deck, by the way. I love that we have the Emperor and the Empress. They are my power couple. They're different, but they have the same goals in mind. They may go about it differently. So, they are different, but they're also very much alike. They're both compassionate, empathetic. The Emperor is methodical, puts plans in place. That could also be a Virgo trait. But I feel like the Empress is more you, because I feel like this is a time to go more by what you're feeling. Like I don't even have to put a plan in place, and I'm talking about the Empress. I'm just gonna move into this energy. Remember, we're also looking at the Ten of Cups. So I feel like this is probably who is also in that Ace of Cups. It just makes sense, right? especially, and here's that father figure, the mother figure, the father figure, and they're right together. And I'm looking at what your guardian angel is bringing in or helping to guide you towards. Well, that would be the perfect soulmate. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Sam just knocked at my door. It's funny because um, I work from home, but I'm in my office with my door closed, so in a way, you know, he feels lonely. But I told him, I'm like, even with my door closed, it's always open for you. But then he he like interrupts our readings a lot. And I told him the other day, I said, some are getting a little upset with you now. Um, but you know, I'm blessed to have him. So anyway, let's get back to you. So I think what I was saying is we have the mother and the father figure, and I felt in the Ten of Cups where there's a potential of blended families. Okay. I don't feel like we need to take any more there. I'm going to leave him there for a second. And by the way, I also want to say they're great at work together, like collaborating together, off the charts. Again, because they both have the same goal in mind. They both care about their fellow man and woman. You know what I mean? Like they want to help people, they want to help lift them. And they probably both had to learn, like, okay, who am I giving my energy to? Who am I actually lifting and who am I not? Okay. So we're going to keep him out. What do I want to look at? The reason why I hesitate sometimes is because to me it just feels so clear. But I feel like some of you like it when I clarify. So I do it for you. Um, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go across the middle of the board. And I'd like it to move a little bit closer to this Ace of Cups and its meaning. There's that Nine of Cups. There's that inner harmony. There it is. But the Nine of Cups is also fulfillment of wishes. Not a fulfillment of a wish, fulfillment of wishes. Also, I want to say two nines, both sitting pretty. Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups right below it. We had some cards go off the table. Let me grab them. Okay. We have the Four of Cups. And then, well, look at this, the Five of Wands in reverse. That's good news. But let's start with the Four of Cups. So I feel like what this is saying is your money is getting better and better and better. I feel like you're really, for the majority of you, loving what you're doing. And I do feel like you're willing to put in that work. And I do feel like you're going to reap the benefits of that. I 100% feel that. Now, the Four of Cups talks about discontentment, boredom in one's life, but it's of an emotional nature. In the Four of Cups, though, there's a cup that's coming in, and it literally looks like it's coming from the hand of divine. By the way, the Knight of Pentacles is right above it. So I feel like, okay, I feel pretty good with what I'm doing on a creative level. But the one place maybe I feel a little lacking, could be in my emotional house. It may not be you, it may be the Emperor, who I feel like is your counterpart. But nonetheless, here comes this cup. And we already have the Ace of Cups. And this is exactly what I just asked my guides about. Like, I'd like to move closer to what this love is about. Because I already feel like we know what the money's about. So, prayers being answered. Prayers being answered. You know, everything that's supposed to bring you something is doing that. So the Knight of Pentacles brings in this Ace of Pentacles, but I feel like is also bringing in this Ace of Cups. But so is Temperance. And even the synchronicities, right? Temperance over Temperance. Some of you could literally mean a double Sagittarius. But then let's look at what's next, which is the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands in the upright, it's drama. It's fighting. It's ego. It's no one wanting to back down. No one's going to apologize in this energy because they don't feel like they're doing anything wrong, even if they do know it. But here's the thing. You're not allowing yourself to be pulled into anyone's drama anymore. It's like you're done with that. Been there, done that. Like, and I also feel like this is giving you a little comfort in knowing that this energy of love that's coming in, first of all, feels right. Um, I just feel like the areas where you have felt unfulfilled, you're going to start feeling fulfilled. And by the way, any love that's coming in because we have the world, to me, that means it's going to last the rest of your life, or it has the potential. We got to remember free will. And you know what I love also is conflict and defeat is in reverse. The tower is in reverse. Now this drama is in reverse. It's literally like you are entering into this new world. And this new world is full of joy and inner harmony and financial success. Creativity just feels like it's on fire. Um, Changes, but all these changes are, oh my gosh, so beneficial to your life. I could see that Knight of Pentacles saying, because the Knight of Pentacles says to you, I come at the right time. Well, if that Five of Wands was turned the other way around, then I feel like it wouldn't be the right time. Because if I'm involved in all this drama, then I wouldn't be able to appreciate what the Knight of Pentacles is bringing me. I may not even see it. Another reason why judgment is saying, present moment, please. Okay, keep going. I kind of love how let's just say, difficult energies are all reversed. Even the tower that we began with now is reversed. So I feel like it's not affecting you. Interesting. And then I get a tower. But that tower is next to that Five of Wands. So I don't feel like it's you receiving. I feel like it's you giving. It's like, okay, I can give towers also. Strength card. Card of Leo. She's looking right back at the tower though. Strength card is really looking within oneself, knowing oneself, like all areas. It can talk about things like temptations. Could certainly been tempted to a certain energy, a certain person over and over again. But I feel like this is talking about you overcoming because again, the tower being in reversed, but she's looking at that tower, and I think that's a good thing because she's kind of dissecting it. She wants to know what caused it. She wants to know her part in it. I say her, it can be also him. Um, and remember, the strength card ultimately becomes your courage. Like if you're willing to really know yourself. Okay. Well, hello, Four of Wands. Well, hello, marriage. Hello, commitment. Hello, true love. Again, hello, for some of you, blended families. This is real commitment, which I would expect nothing less from the Emperor and the Empress. We have the Page of Swords, and then we have the Six of Wands, victory and success. Page of Swords, well, could be someone you already know. Um, could be a little bit of Mercury retrograde also, though. And I'm saying that because it's right next to the Five of Wands, and that's the one thing I don't want to do is get pulled into other people's drama. Like, you just don't need it. You know what I mean? Because you're on the way to true success. It's showing everywhere, but that's exactly what the Six of Wands means victory and success. And I feel in the Six of Wands, this is an energy where other people are looking up to you. They want to know how you got to where you are. How did you become the Empress? So if you have a business, I feel like this is people seeking you out. Some of you will remember back in 2024, I called 2025 the year of the healers. So I would not be surprised if, like, if you have any healing abilities, that they'll be called into action. But maybe this is part of what you do for a living. So this is a very good sign if that's the case, that other people will seek you out. And that's what I felt. Like I felt like I didn't have to worry about that back in 2024 when I felt that energy. I felt like if you have healing abilities, and that can be many, many, many different things. It can, you can be working a 9 to 5, but bring in your spirituality as part of it. But for some of you, I already know you have like, businesses and your spirituality is a big part of it, and healing is a big part of it. So I feel like this is just giving you more confirmation that you're definitely on the right path. And then love, hello, Four of Wands. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better. This is true commitment, by the way. And the world is right under, and I think I just said in the world's energy, if you're connecting with someone, I feel like it's for the rest of your life. So I love seeing my power couple for you. Okay, let's stop there, but let's pick these up. Don't forget, Four of Wands. It doesn't have to mean marriage, but it is true commitment. So I'm going to pick up the extras, and I want to bring out. I feel like I picked up one too many. I think the Queen was meant to stay. Um, I want to bring out the clarifying love situations, and then we'll bring out the romance angels. Give him a cut. I have to tell you, I think you're the seventh sign I've done for April so far. And I feel like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like the beginning of the year was kind of difficult for a few. But you know why? Because we're in the year of the hermit, it could have definitely been bringing up like old wounds, let's say. But if there's those old wounds are being brought up, they're being brought up so you can heal them. Um, but then I feel April. It just feels like everything is turning around. You know, that full moon in Virgo in March, I feel was the beginning for Virgo. Unlock the gates, explore the unknown, and walk new paths together. Together. That's like the Two of Wands here, who is mirroring the Empress, who literally just had the Emperor over. Explore the unknown and walk new paths together. Together. So you're not walking alone. You're never walking alone. Your spiritual team is always right beside you. But I feel like this is talking about a physical person. Okay. Taming anger. Don't roar in arguments. Respect can heal wounds. Well, that's kind of like the Five of Wands, but it was in reverse. And then, love's disguise. Go beyond superficial looks and see who they truly are. Go beyond superficial looks and see who they truly are. You know, I feel like as we start to fall in love, it's, make sure your spirituality is leading the way, your intuition, because if something shows that is not beneficial to this new path, it's going to be very clear. Your energy should pick up on it like pretty quickly. And I feel like also like expect the unexpected as it relates to love. You know, Sam and I's story was completely unexpected to me, but yet it happened. Hmm. Okay, let's bring in the romance angels. Give it one more. Okay, flirt. Extend your heart, extend your light-hearted energy to others. Flirt, have fun, laugh. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Some of you, I feel like that's what that Six of Cups is. It's not the person who put 10 swords in you. I don't know why I feel like I always got to say that. Not with Divine's energy so strong. I'm not going to say that someone, again, that maybe whoever had you on this waiting game, um, I won't say that they can't also come back. Venus in retrograde can bring back all types of people. But I feel like for the majority of you, listen, first of all, I 100% feel it's not anyone who is comfortable living in low vibrational energy because I feel like you're done with that. So I feel like it's tying back to someone, for some of you, back in the day. Could also relate to, because I do feel like this is soulmate energy. That means you've known each other for eternity. You'll always know each other. Your souls know each other. And what a difference when you meet a soulmate or even a twin flame. Like I feel like I have to put that on the table because the energy supports that. But either or, it just love. Jeez. Okay. Wedding. This situation involves marriage. Literally just had the marriage card. It is safe for you to love, Virgo. It's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Open your heart. That's what the Empress has learned. I feel like our heart chakra is being activated, probably because the Emperor is on his way. So, having an open heart, I feel like already is inviting great love. Okay, well, hello, soulmates. Yes, this is your soulmate. I love it when I feel an energy so strongly, but yet, like, I knew it was soulmates, yet the soulmates didn't come out until the very last card. It's safe for you to love. Open up your heart. This is a soulmate. This could be the one. This could be the one that you end up marrying. This is the one that I feel like you spend the rest of your life with. But it starts with flirting, fun, going with the flow, and allowing people to reveal who they are. You know what I mean? Like, if you have any fear, which at this point, I feel like you don't. But I feel like the reason why you have no fear is because you're trusting your intuition. You know that you can read people's energy at this point, and you know what's of a lower vibration, what's of a higher vibration. It literally is telling you that open your heart to give and receive the highest vibration of all. It's a good reminder of, the best way. Well, let me put it this way, the law of attraction. We need to be what it is that we want, right? If I want great love, I have to be able to give great love. If I want true success, I got to be willing to put in the work, but then it will be mine and they will be mine and I will be theirs. This reading flowed like a best-selling movie, like the Oscar goes to Virgo. I may even title your video that, because none of this becomes possible without you first entering into the Empress's energy. It's energy you already carry. It's just like literally saying to yourself, I'm only going to extract the wisdom of my past, and I'm not going to stay locked in on everything that went wrong and this and that. What if it was meant to? What if it was moving you right where you're meant to be? What if this was your soul's desire and your spiritual team is just following your wishes? What if? This just reminds me of like watching like a beautiful love story, like a beautiful movie that's about love and watching it over and over again. Like truly, the Oscar goes to Virgo. All right, I'm going to let that be because I don't want to overread it. I do want to remind you what Mother Mary said, though. Your health, and I feel that is more about getting out into nature. Know that nature is very healing for you. I know that. I do this all the time. I mean, very seldom do I have shoes on. I am a barefoot person. Um, but I will go out and just literally walk around in the grass, connect to the earth. I've even hugged trees. Give me your wisdom. So, and then marriage. Well, some could be coming to an end of one, but let's just say a relationship. However, I do want to say that if this is, this reading, I'm not going to say that if I'm in an existing relationship or even a marriage, I feel like if there's a lot going wrong, I feel like sure, you should try to save it. But if it can't be saved, know that also. But maybe some of them can be. That means I really need to know what that tower is. I really need to understand, when we go to that drama place. But I don't want to go back. I just want to stay where we're at right now. Mm, I loved it. I just love it. It's like I don't want to end your reading, but I do feel like it's time. So I'm gonna let that be. Um, wow, I loved it. Um, Let me know if you will. You don't have to. Do you like the major arcanas in your readings? I mean, do you feel like they bring the value that I feel? Because I really do it for you. I want to bring you as much clarity as possible. But yeah, it does extend the length of the reading. I personally feel the value, but I want to know what you feel. I would love to know what you feel about the reading also and where you're at in this reading because I feel like the majority of you who are watching, you were meant to watch. Even if the one thing about readings, at least the way I do 'em, I do feel like they're timeless. I feel like a reading will find you or you will find it in your divine timing. And what I mean by that is, and I know now I keep talking, but sometimes you watch a reading, and I feel like the first time we watch it, we're listening with our human ears. Maybe I want to hear what I want to hear, and therefore I'm not listening to what divine is saying. But then I feel like if we watch it again, then we have our spiritual ears on. When I do a personal reading, I always recommend that to people. Watch your reading because I mean, personal readings are just packed full of information. So watch it and then come back and revisit it. Also, I feel like personal readings last really 6 months to a year. Um, so it's something I feel like you should keep in your back pocket. But sometimes these monthly readings have the same effect. Like if it feels like a personal reading, as things start to open, you may want to come back and just revisit it Don't forget about all these aces. I mean, my God, you have such beautiful energy here. Yes, there was a little bit of turmoil, but that feels like that was yesterday. This is about today. I love you, Virgo. I pray that all this manifests for you and it brings you not only material harvest, but that you love what you do, but also it brings this highest vibration of love. Do I feel like these soulmates were always meant to be together? I do. I just feel like it was in divine timing. Sam and I didn't come together until my late 50s. You know, I mean, you just never know. You never know. You never know. I love you guys. I thank you. I thank you for being with me. I welcome anyone who's new. I have so much gratitude for donations, so thank you. It's truly what keeps me alive on YouTube. Um, Unfortunately, I have to put ads in my video. I hate it. I truly hate it, but YouTube is paying so little for some reason lately that to stay on YouTube, it's really my only solution. But I only plan on doing it for a period of time. And then we'll go back to no ads. Well, I always put one before and one after, but I hate interrupting the flow. So excuse me for the ads, but right now I feel like I just have to. Um, anyway, I thank you all. I truly do. Each and every one of you. Like, I love you like you are my family. You are my family. Like, that's how connected I feel to you all. Like, you are my family. You are my soul family. And I know that. And I feel like we have more and more of our soul family coming to us on a daily basis. So, welcome. Welcome to everyone. I love you. Thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.